Hands of My Podcast is a proud member of Darkcast Network, presenting the brightest of indie podcasts. Hello to all my beautiful listeners. I'm a little bit under the weather. However, this gives me the opportunity to welcome a new podcast to our Darkcast Network community, Murder and Mimosas. Danica and Shannon are a mother-daughter duo. They are dedicated to exploring lesser-known crimes that have left a lasting impact to them. With a tinge of sarcasm, but yet with thorough research, they delve into each case, providing an in-depth analysis. They have new episodes that release every Saturday, and it is perfectly timed for their brunch and mimosas. I also wanted to thank Tim B., one of my new patrons from Patreon. Thank you so much for your $5 donation. Also, I have a wonderful announcement that I'd like to share with you in partners with Search and Support San Antonio, and I'll be right back. We are excited to invite you to the highly anticipated 11th annual Honk for the Missing event, which will take place on September 16, 2023. This event holds a great significance as it serves as a platform to honor missing persons, victims of human trafficking, and victims of unsolved crimes in San Antonio and surrounding areas. Our mission is to raise awareness of unsolved crimes and missing persons cases, while also providing support to the affected families during these challenging times. We firmly believe that our amazing community can make a difference and stand together in solidarity for this important cause. Joining us at the event will allow you to contribute to our advocacy and outreach efforts in various meaningful ways. You can attend the event, volunteer your time, network with like-minded individuals, set up a vendor stall, become a sponsor, or even make a donation. With your support, we aim to encourage agencies and organizations to unite with us, bringing their valuable resources and assistance to the forefront. Let's jointly raise awareness and make a lasting impact on the lives of those affected by unsolved crimes and missing loved ones. So mark your calendar for Saturday, September 16th, 2023, between 12 noon to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, located at the Walgreens 3030 Goliad Road, San Antonio, Texas 78223. Stand with us to raise awareness, give hope, and support those who need it the most. Make noise, make an impact, be a part of Honk for the Missing. Thank you. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Murder
and Mimosas.
Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. Our show is Murder and Mimosas. It's a true crime podcast. This means that we do discuss crimes, including but not limited to disappearances, murder, and sexual assaults. All our episodes are told with the respect of the victims and the victims' families in mind. We strive to ensure that we provide factual information, but some information is more verifiable than others. With that, grab your mimosas and let's dive in. Welcome back to Murder and Mimosas. I'm Danica.
And I'm Shannon.
We are going to be talking about the case of Ieshia Jackson. We were able to sit down with an advocate for Ieshia's family who was willing to speak with us due to the nature of everything and the size of the town that Ieshia's from. This person has wished to remain anonymous, and we're going to respect those wishes just to make sure everyone is safe in this scenario. But we will give you clips from that interview, as well as a clip of a phone call with the mayor that was taped. But first, let's talk a little bit about what happened, what we do know, and just kind of the general rundown. There you go, of Ieshia's case. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about Ieshia?
From what her mother tells me, she loved animals. There's a story that her mother told me when she was school bus age, grade school age. She was riding the bus. There was a neighborhood dog that went missing, and Laquita, the mother, said, "Wait till my daughter gets off this bus. She'll find your dog for you." Apparently, this dog only came to Ieshia, and Ieshia got off the bus, and everybody was telling the dog went, into the woods, went missing, had to come out. They said that Ieshia walked into the woods, and less than an hour later, Ieshia comes walking out with the dog beside her, just walking, found their doggy. I know, it breaks my heart. She did have a dog. She had a dog when she went missing too. And some cats as well. But the dog that she had when she went missing, it was adopted by a local business here, and I've seen it and gone by and visited. It's sometimes they keep it outside in a fence, and so I'm able to I'm gonna cry at that. Oh my God, I'm able to wave
I
at
know.
stuff. I don't usually. I've been really good at not crying, but it gets me so sad. Anyway, they got it fixed, and they're taking really good care of it. And but then her mother said she always loved to dance too, so she would. That was her goal. She wanted to go to college to do business. That way, she could run a dance studio, because the dance studio she was dancing with. They moved to Little Rock, actually, so it wasn't offered for her anymore. Yeah.
Just kind of from the top, give us the rundown of what's happened, what you guys know, maybe what isn't being told to general public that they might need to know.
The main thing is we can't really verify, because we haven't. We've tried to do some FOIA requests on the day, but I do have an email, and I can send it to y'all to verify. The last day she can be accounted for is October 31st. I was advised by an outside agency not to release any information, in which I get, because I don't think anybody involved wants to hurt the investigation. However, I did push back a little bit with the date, and they totally agreed. Yes, that's fine. So the only thing I've said was that date, because I think it's really, really important to know the last day, because nobody in this town knew it was October 31st was the last day she could be accounted for. That means phone calls. So there's nothing after October 31st. She went to a party. She was dressed up for, a Halloween party, went to a party. And the next thing, the mother got a phone call saying she was on her way to Houston. And her mother hasn't heard from her since October 31st.
And on the way to Houston with her uncle. Is that
correct.
Right?
Yes. That's the story that we have been told. She tried to contact her daughter the entire time. Wasn't able to get her on her phone. So, would call like we all would do if, we had a friend or a family member or a child going on a trip with anybody, we would call. And if we didn't get that, we would call everybody else who's supposed to be with them to find out, where they are or what's going on. And okay, well, have her call me back is kind of what her mom was saying. So that would have been a Saturday of 2020 was October 31st. Sunday would have been November 1st. Monday would have been November 2nd. So that night, November 1st, on a Sunday, the mom had talked to the uncle. This is from the mother. She said that he told her he already dropped her off at home. Laquita can't drive. The mother cannot drive. She's got some health issues that keep her from being able to legally drive. She's got a seizure disorder where and it's been worse lately. She's had seizures multiple times a day, and it's been happening at least twice a week now, just from the stress. Before, she said it wasn't that often, but it's been more often now. Anyway, the point is she's not able to drive. So the next morning she woke up her husband to go to Ieshia's home to check on her, because she's like, she hadn't even been staying at that house from what we understand. Her mother said whenever the last time she saw her at the home that she had been staying with for the last couple of weeks, because of she had some break-ins in her home, Ieshia did. So that's why she was staying with the family member, the uncle, and I think the aunt, I believe is what the mother said. And so that's why she was a little concerned, because she didn't understand why she was dropped off at her home if she wasn't staying there. So she went over there with her husband and couldn't find Ieshia, called the police department or went up there, either one. She said she can't really remember because it's kind of foggy, but she swears she called, but she knows for a fact she went up to the police department that Monday and they told her to wait.
Yeah.
And that's why the Wednesday date, the November 4th date, is out there, because that's the day that the police department came out and took the statement and everything. So as far as everything now, it's been confirmed that we are able to say October 31st is the last day. But we're 2.5 years out. So I don't know, y'all probably know better how memories work. You know, you let things go 2.5 years. Maybe when it was fresher, you could say, oh, I remember seeing her that Sunday or Monday, and didn't think anything of it because she wasn't missing until November 4th. We don't know if that's happened. And really, I don't need to know that. The police department needs to know that.
Common, because you said Ieshia was going to a party. Is it common for her to have just changed plans and gone to Houston?
Her mom said, yeah, they kind of were just, I mean, and the more, you know, when you start hanging around people, you can kind of get patterns. And
Right.
yeah, she said it's like, and the more I hang out with them, the more I can see, it's kind of like there's really no, they don't really have a schedule of things. Like every Sunday we go here for church, or every Monday we have brunch here. There's really no, they just kind of live, you know, to do what, yeah. So it's not uncommon for, she said it wasn't.
Okay.
Because I asked her the same thing. I was like, well, you got a phone call early in the, you know, night that they're going to Houston. Was that off to you? She's like, not really. We've been known to get up and go. I mean, we all.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one thing that stuck out to me. I was like, for me, if I called my mom and said, hey, I'm just going to go to Houston,
Right.
she'd be like, what?
Yeah. Now let's, this is what Laquita said, the mother. She said she never got a call from her daughter saying she was going to Houston. The call came from her uncle, the brother.
She got a call from you.
Saying I'm
Uncle?
taking her to
Okay.
Houston. Yeah.
Okay.
So what night was October 31st that year?
That was a Saturday
Was
night.
Saturday, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Sunday was November 1st. So it was a fast trip. Because if you left,
And that was, from here to Houston and Houston back. Okay, yeah, that is a quick trip.
Yeah.
that's less than 24 hours. Because if she was back by Sunday night, November 1st, dropped off, yeah, it's a pretty fast trip.
Did he tell Laquita what the reason for the trip to Houston was?
He had lived, from what I understand and from what Laquita understands, he had lived in Houston prior to moving back to El Dorado. And that they had to go pick up some furniture they had left. So that's why Laquita, that's when she started getting like, oh, I don't know, something's off, because usually my daughter will call me back and that she was dropped off at the house that she hadn't even been staying in because she was already scared to stay there by herself. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did the uncle have any explanation of why he ended up dropping her off there?
I don't think that there was even time. From what I understand, Laquita didn't even go into that with them. She was just like, where is she?
Okay.
She's not there. And then that's when everybody came over to Aisha's house and they called. They weren't able to take the report per the mother. And so that's why she called back Wednesday, November 4th. But he was still around. I mean, from what she says, you know, he was even organizing searches in the beginning and everything.
Okay.
So
other than the report, what have the police done that we know? I don't want you to say anything you can't say, but things that you do know.
What I do know is nothing. They've arrested.
Okay.
No, and I'm not trying to mean that condescending. They've probably done things they can't tell me about. You know how it works. There's probably things that have been done that they're not able to tell me about. But in some cases, and I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but and also you can't insult the citizens that you serve and protect. Because after 2.5 years and nothing is being said and the correct date is not even out there for the public, when you've begged and begged and begged and begged and begged, Her tattoos aren't even out there to the public. I've begged and begged and begged and begged for that. The mother has begged for that. Her correct height, weight, down to the correct spelling of her name. It's Ieshia.
Yeah, because I sent it to you in an email wrong, but that's what I'd gotten online.
And thank goodness NamUs has been wonderful. I emailed them and they did get with the agency, and her name is corrected on NamUs now, because used to before when you would search, you couldn't find her. So that's what I'm saying.
I can't believe that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to talk ill, but also you can't insult our intelligence either. The respect road goes two ways. So I know I don't need to have your file, and I know the mother and I or anybody trying to help doesn't need to know important information that could lead to a conviction. We get that. All we're asking for is to please just correct the information as far as, yes, her characteristics. So that's going to help if someone saw her. And that's all we're trying to do is bring awareness to it. That's all I can do. I'm not an investigator. I'm not the police. I have no authority over anyone. All I can do is just bring awareness. And in doing so, I think those are very important things. And I've explained it to the mayor and I've explained it to the police department that if you lost your wallet and it was a green wallet and it was reported that it was a blue wallet stolen, I mean, come on, this is a child. It's not your wallet. Let's get her correct information out there. So in case we do find her, and let's say something bad did happen to her, she went walking after she was dropped off. If she was dropped off, her hair had long, long braids. She had just gotten it done. And those braids are not biodegradable. So we're 2.5 years out.
Yeah.
If anybody saw loose braids, I mean, 2 years ago, what would you do? We'd just walk past them, wouldn't we? We wouldn't think. But if it's out there and you're aware of it and your senses, you're going to be more vigilant to looking for things like that and not just kicking them over, in my opinion. But from where I stand and what I've been helping the mother with, we have not asked for anything that has to do with the investigation. We have only asked just to release what Ieshia looked like and her characteristics and things that she could be identified for. And I don't think that's too much to ask. And also whenever
it seems like it would be the very common thing with a missing person.
Well, if you want to find one, right? Like I said,
if you want to find her, yeah.
And I mean, if you want credible tips, that's what I even emailed to them. I said, I don't understand how you're even able to get a credible tip if you don't have the correct data.
So the ones you're getting are a waste of time because they're not accurate.
Right. Because here's my opinion. If she was missing, if the last time she could be accounted for is October 31st, they've got her phone. So if someone says, no, I talked to her on the 4th or the 3rd, you would think that would be suspicious, right? Because you're able to confirm that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an investigator, but
yeah,
I'm trying to be nice.
Well, you don't even have to be an investigator to know what you need out there to find her, though.
And you won't understand how many times I've heard that there is accurate information on pets than there are humans, and that's.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When I was talking to we've been doing the every door direct mailing. We've been mailing postcards out of the tattoos, trying to get just the characteristics out there to the public. Even I've spoke with them and asked them to, I've even reached out to see if they could maybe implement a sample of a missing flyer on there, because they have, for lawn and attorneys and that kind of stuff. And when they called me back, when we're doing another mail out here, May 11th, when they called me back about that, they were asking how it helped. And I said, it helped hugely. So I hope one day we'll be able to see that out there. And as y'all know, there's not many people like y'all that are able to get the word out too. So a lot of missing people are left up to the families and to do. And so they're grieving, not sleeping. They have other children too they have to take care of. And that's what people don't understand. Her little brother was 15 when she went missing. The mother has health problems. She's not able to drive. She's got another kid to take care of. What are her options? I mean, she needs help. she needs help, and that's what we should be doing.
Is there any type of, I know it's different for everybody, is there any type of Facebook page or anything set up like that for Ieshia?
There's a Bring Ieshia homepage that her family, I think one of her aunts has out there. I haven't seen very much information on there. There's another page called Missing and, I'm sorry, I'm looking over here to see what it's called. Missing and Unidentified in Union County, Arkansas. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That one has been having a lot more information on tattoos. There's the tattoos are on there. There's a rally on there to email local officials. And also you were talking about, I'm sorry, I'm so rambly, but there's another thing that I wanted to address. Whenever I started handing out flyers and going to the community, a lot of people I heard thought it was solved because they made 2 arrests 6 weeks after she was reported missing of 2 men. One of them was a boy she had dated for not long at all. When I say not long, it was under 2 months from what the mother says. She had just broken up with a long-term relationship. So she had a couple months before she went missing that she was single, and she was, dating around. I'm sure I would be at 22, but I know. But there was one guy that she was dating with, and they arrested him for capital murder and no body. And then the other gentleman, it was apparently he was trying to get the $8,000 from them if they extortion. If they told her,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but those charges have been dropped. So they didn't have anything. And I wish that would be more clear and it would have come out. The press conference that was in February 2021 that came out because they were released from jail, that's when they announced the $3,000 Crime Stopper reward. So it's kind of overshadowed that because there was a reward now out there. But I think that other part is just as important too, that these men were released and they did not have anything to do with it. Well, when you arrest someone on capital murder, I know y'all are probably like most people, like we are, you trust that the police wouldn't just do that unless they had some information, right? Well, there's
not the case here.
Because we're going on 2.5 years now, and they're clean, they're clear. So
yeah, that's good information to know. Okay, so that was our interview with the advocate of Ieshia's family. We did do a little digging ourselves, and we will recap some of the information. So what we do know is that October 31st of 2020 is when Ieshia can last be accounted for, and she had originally planned to go to a Halloween party and ended up instead going to Houston with her uncle, who had recently moved from Houston, which is William Earl Parker Jr. is her uncle's name. They came back the 1st of November that evening, and he dropped her off at her home, though according to her mother, that is not where she'd been staying due to some break-ins, though we could not find any police reports to support the break-ins. She may not have reported them. They may have happened, and she may have been too scared to say anything, just decided to stay with family. But beyond that...
Well, we don't even know any of that is correct. We just know that the uncle called Ieshia's mom, said Ieshia's going to Austin with him. Houston with him to move furniture. And if you look up Ieshia, you see she's a little bitty tiny thing. If you want somebody to move furniture, I doubt this is the person you're going to get. So her mom never speaks to her. It's all through the uncle that Ieshia is going, that he dropped Ieshia off, but her mother never hears from her confirm any of this.
No. So that is what we have been told, what the mother's been told, what the police have been told, though a lot of the information that have been released by the police isn't accurate, such as they have it as November 4th, was her last day that accounted for. It was actually October 31st. Her name was spelled wrong, but we will have her correct name, her correct information, and the pictures of her tattoos on our social medias. We'd love if you'd be able to share those so that correct information continue to be pushed out there to overshadow the incorrect information. I would love to say that in this case, the police department and the mayor have been helpful, but we do have a short clip. It's a recorded phone call with the mayor that will probably shine a little bit of a different light, which begs the question of why? Why is this being treated as such a hostile thing for the family to want information and want the police to get the right information? It's all a little disconcerting, but we'll let you listen to that and make your assumptions.
Able to say the police department did not follow the correct policy and procedure, and we shouldn't try to cover that up.
You toss that out there. You won't happen. You will alienate yourself from any communication with the police department.
What do you mean by tossing what out?
That they had not followed proper procedure.
Okay. But that's still not, but it's the truth. So you tell me stick to facts. That's a fact.
Let's see what happens.
What do you mean? Do what and see what happens?
As I can.
Do what and see what happens?
If you
Say they're not following policy.
If you become accusatory.
That's not accusing, that's a fact.
Well, he's admitted something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let it lie.
It's absolutely ridiculous that a young woman.
So that's what we know right now. That was a conversation with the mayor of El Dorado.
El Dorado.
El Dorado, I know I always say it wrong, sorry. Paul Choate. It just seems weird to me. I feel like as a mayor, I would want to know that the police are not following policy and procedure and doing something about it. But that's not the case here. He very much kind of gives a veiled threat of, you won't get any cooperation from the police if you're being honest and say that they didn't follow policies and procedures. It's a very uncomfortable phone call to listen to.
It's very threatening in my opinion.
Yeah. So all of that to say, if you have information about Ieshia Jackson, about her whereabouts, about what may have happened, please contact the
El Dorado
Police Department. There is a Facebook page we will link as well that has more information about Ieshia. We will post the information that was provided to us by the advocate of her family that has all the correct information. But let's do what we can to help bring Ieshia home. I think her family deserves that justice.
Yeah, I agree. And they need all the support they can get because they haven't had a lot so far.
Yeah. All right. We always recommend more bubbly
And less OJ.
Cheers! If you'd like to see pictures from today's episode, you can find us at murder.mimosas on Instagram. You can also find us at murder.mimosas on TikTok, Twitter, and if you have a case you would like us to do, you can send that to murder.mimosas@gmail.com. And lastly, we are on Facebook at Murder and Mimosas Podcast, where you can interact with us there. We love any type of feedback you can give us, so please rate and review us on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you.